Colorado Springs has so many hidden gems, but today we really wanted to just dial in 5 of our absolute favorites. These underrated places to live in Colorado Springs might not get as much attention as they deserve, but they definitely have a lot to offer. From quieter streets to unique local amenities, these neighborhoods could be perfect for your lifestyle.
That's right. So we're going to highlight 5 neighborhoods that are often overlooked but provide amazing value, family-friendly amenities, and a great place to call home. Whether you're looking for more affordable options, less congestion, or simply just want to discover a new side of Colorado Springs, these areas are worth considering. You might just find the hidden gem that you've been looking for.
Let's talk about Kissing Camels. This neighborhood is often overlooked, but it's truly one of the most charming and unique areas in Colorado Springs in my personal opinion. It's tucked away enough to offer peaceful atmospheres, but it's only minutes away from downtown and super convenient location to I-25. So it's one of my top spots that I would consider to be a hidden gem.
Yeah, for sure. Kissing Camels, it's known for its breathtaking views of the iconic Kissing Camel rock formation. The distinctive rock features not only gives you the area its name, but it also adds an incredible visual element to the neighborhood. Whether you're walking through the community or you're just simply relaxing in your backyard, the sight of those rocks make everything feel just a little more special.
We were at a wedding party not too long ago with who we call Cookie Lauren. She makes all of our cookies and cakes and things. And their backyard was a perfect overview of Kissing Camels and Garden of the Gods. It was incredible to see. So I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for views, Kissing Camels is an amazing area and something that you would want to consider. Plus, they do have a private community and a golf course located in that same community. So if that's something you're looking for or something that's close to downtown Colorado Springs, this might be the perfect location for you guys.
Yeah, you for sure get both the best worlds, I think. The homes in Kissing Camels are truly exceptional, ranging from beautiful townhouses to sprawling luxury estates. Whether you're looking for a low-maintenance, cozy home or a grand property, there's something for everyone. The designs of these homes are impeccable, with so many different features that are so elegant, open layouts, stunning views of the surrounding landscape. If you're someone who just values peace and quiet, but doesn't want to sacrifice being close to the city, then this would be ideal for you.
And as I mentioned before, if you're a golf enthusiast, Kissing Camels is even more of a standout. It's one of the most beautiful golf courses in Colorado Springs, again, in my opinion.
Even if he doesn't play golf, but that's okay.
I know all about the golf courses. You have to when you live here. But whether you're out on the greens or you're just enjoying the backyard, which is where I would be watching you guys golf, you cannot beat the experience of Kissing Camels and having the views and the amenities. It's an amazing community.
Yeah, I think it's truly like a good blend of luxury, convenience, and beauty. It's very calm, peaceful. When, Sean was brought up the wedding that we went to, or the wedding reception that we went to, and we just sat out back and literally sipped on our cocktail and just enjoyed the views and the nature. I mean, there were little bunnies, there were little wildlife kind of running everywhere. And it's super peaceful. There were probably 50, 60 people in the home.
Yeah.
But going outside was just zen.
Well, and then as you mentioned earlier too, the architecture of these homes is so amazing. It was a 2-story with a finished basement. And you never went anywhere in the house and felt like you were crowded, even though there was so many people there. And that is a lot of these homes that's in that area. They just have unique architecture and design. So even though it's an open layout, you feel like you can get in your own space at the same time. I was in the basement and I was like, oh, wow, there's 10 other people here. Yeah, I feel like I'm alone.
Well, and I think too, just talking about the way that the houses are built there, they're very luxury. It feels like they have history, even though they're not. It's not like they're all
historic,
old.
Modern.
Yeah, and you don't find cookie cutter homes there. But with that said, let's kind of chat a little bit about that with our today's market. So We're in February 2025 right now, so depending on when you listen to this, these stats are more than likely going to change, but this will give you a little bit of a view of kind of what the cost of living, or not the cost of living, but the average home is, the days on market, all that good stuff. So it is a little deceiving though, because currently right now we only had 3 listings that were currently active, but out of those, one was at $500,000. That was a townhome. And then the rest of them were $900,000 to $1 million. And so the median list price is showing at around $527,000, $528,000, but that is very skewed because of those townhomes. So you're not going to get like a $300,000 home in that area.
But if you are reaching, or if you're looking for something in this area and you want to know more specifics about what's available at what price point, how much square footage do you get, what are the extra costs, HOAs, metro districts, things like that, you can always reach out to us, 719-238-1771. We help people from all over the country move to Colorado Springs and make it their home. So if Kissing Camels might be calling your name, reach out to us and we can help guide you in that direction so you know the difference between townhomes, single family homes, price points, and all the things in between.
For sure. Obviously, you can see that Kissing Camels is one that we absolutely love, but let's talk about another one. Stetson Hills has my heart. Located in the eastern side of Colorado Springs, Stetson Hills is the neighborhood that's often overlooked, even though it's becoming more popular. In our opinion, it's still underrated for all the amazing things that it has to offer. This area provides a peaceful suburban vibe with all the benefits of the city living literally just right down the street.
Yeah, and even though you've probably heard us talk about it, it was in probably our last video when we were doing featured homes under $500,000. It is talked about, but I still think that because of all the convenience that it has to offer, it is something that I would classify as underrated. So keep that in mind. You are probably anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes from shopping, entertainment, things like that, versus if you live in other areas of town, we start talking about a 25 to 30 minute drive. So I think that drive time alone, I actually just had to go drop off, believe it or not, a fantasy football trophy to one of my friends who lives right over in that area, and to drive from Lifetime, which is the gym that I go to his house, it was only 10 minutes, straight down Powers onto Stetson Hills. It's so convenient. Every time I drive over there, I think about moving, but then I think again, we're not.
Yeah. What sets Stetson Hills apart is a sense of community. People here tend to stay for that long term, and you'll often see neighbors chatting on their porches and gathering with the community and for events. It's a kind of place where you'll get to know your neighbors, and the vibe is always warm and welcoming. Plus, with well-maintained streets and a family-friendly atmosphere, it's easy to see why this neighborhood is such a great place to live.
That was actually another thing that my friend Tyler, who I just dropped that trophy off to, was speaking about in that area specifically. He mentioned that his cul-de-sac had like a church gathering and that they were bringing everybody in. The only thing that he said is not super desirable about his specific cul-de-sac is exactly that. It's a cul-de-sac, so he had other friends coming over too, and so street parking was a nightmare the other day. But the convenience is still unbeatable in the Stetson Hills area.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're working nearby military bases like Peterson Space Force or Schriever, Stetson Hills couldn't be more convenient. It's just a short drive away to both, making it an ideal location for military families. Even if you work elsewhere in the city, the central location offers easy access to major roads and highways, so commuting is a breeze.
Yeah, it's one of those neighborhoods where people just want to talk about it more and more and more. So if you can get in, because the availability, the amount of homes that are for sale in that area are usually a little bit lower than other areas in town. So it is very desirable, it is growing, and you can find more mature neighborhoods, but you can also find some of the neighborhoods that are just starting to pop up.
So Sean, since you brought that up, let's kind of talk about it. So Stetson Hills is going to be in the zip code of 80922, which is kind of broad, but we're going to pull those stats up. And the average price is a little bit lower than what we just talked about. Yeah, it's at around $430,000. There are roughly around 113 listings. So you do have quite a bit of homes that are going to be for sale. And those are going to be, it is very mixed with new builds and with older homes. As you can see with that price point, you're going to get a wide range of a bunch of different things. Average days on market for that area is about 89. I'm pretty pumped because we just had a listing there, as you guys know. And we were able to get that under contract within 14 days. And so it really just depends on who your agent is, but we won't go into all that stuff. Stetson Hills is one of our favorite places, communities. If you do have a family, there's a ton of parks and schools and yogurt places that are amazing and ice cream, all of the good stuff.
Cheyenne Meadows is another hidden gem. This neighborhood is located near Cheyenne Mountain, and it offers stunning views and a peaceful rural feel. It's perfect for anyone who's looking for the tranquility without being too far from the conveniences of the city.
Yeah, it's an excellent choice for people who love the idea of living near the mountain, but don't want to be in the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city. The homes here are more affordable, and the lots are typically a little bit larger compared to other neighborhoods closer to the city. So if you're looking for more space at a lower price, Cheyenne Meadows could be exactly what you're looking for.
And when we say lower price, I would say compared to the Broadmoor, this is the area that's talked about a lot that is in that same vicinity. With the Broadmoor, you have a ton of different amenities and features, but you are going to pay for the Broadmoor. So this is not far from that, and you're going to get most of the same benefits. Most people are looking for the nature and the tranquility, which you're going to be able to get in this community.
Well, and like Sean said, it's not a cheap neighborhood, right? So it's not affordable in the sense of, especially since we just got done talking about Stetson Hills, right? 80922 is a very affordable neighborhood. This one, you're going to get luxury, gorgeous homes, and the average price right now is around $699. So that kind of gives you a comparison, especially comparing it to the Broadmoor. No, you're going to get way better bang for your buck, but comparing it to like Stetson Hills that we just talked about, obviously it's going to be a completely different type of neighborhood and feel.
So as you can see, we talked about Kissing Camels. That's close to, when you're looking at single family homes, at $900,000 price point. We talked about Stetson Hills in the $400,000 price point, and now we're in the $600,000 price point. So as you can see, a 30-minute drive in Colorado Springs can take you anywhere in town, and we're going to talk about several different price points. So again, if you're looking at moving to anywhere in Colorado Springs, we are your go-to resource, and we would love to help you find your new home.
You know how to get a hold of us, 719-238-1771.
Next on our list is a neighborhood community called Peregrine. It might not always make the top of the list, but it offers so much, especially for those who want a peaceful, more upscale environment with incredible mountain views.
Peregrine is located on the west side of Colorado Springs, making it the perfect spot for nature lovers. Nestled right up against the foothills, it gives you immediate access to hiking, outdoor activities, plus the views of Pikes Peak are absolutely breathtaking. You are truly surrounded by natural beauty.
The homes in this area are generally more spacious and on the higher end. You can definitely find a lot of more custom designs that really make the neighborhood stand out. As we've talked about several times, a lot of these communities are getting more and more cookie cutter. So if you can find something a little bit more luxury that's uniquely designed and you're at that price point, I think that it would be a perfect opportunity for you.
Yeah, and we actually had a listing there. And so there are a few different types of communities. I know that there's a lot of gated communities. There are a lot of luxury, like Sean was saying, but one of the ones that we sold in the neighborhood, it was a gated community. And it was a little bit, you didn't have a ton of land, but it was very much HOA and they took care of everything. But you can go, they had like that little bench. Do you remember the little bench? You would go out in the backyard and you can literally look out at the whole entire city. And so it was absolutely stunning, gorgeous. They're not cookie cutter. There's a lot of really good custom, semi-custom homes there. So, and it's close. You're still close to the city. You're close to I-25. You're close to everything that you would really need to go to.
Yeah, and what I like about it is that you're also close to nature. So if you're like us and you live on the east side, it's going to take you 35, 45 minutes to get to some of these areas where you can actually go do what I would consider real mountain hiking trails. This community is going to be a lot closer to that, but you also have the luxuries of everything on the north side too. So it's kind of that perfect combination of where you're close to nature, but you're also close to city living.
For sure. So let's kind of chat about what that market looks like. And this one's another one where it's kind of a little skewed. There is currently right now around 66 active listings, so a lot less than kind of something like Stetson Hills. We didn't just take this particular neighborhood, but we did take all of 80919. And the average price point is about $520. But that is mainly because it's pulling those smaller townhomes with that average. But like we had talked about one of our previous ones, average price point there probably, if you take out for like single family homes, is probably going to be like anywhere from like 700 to around 900,000.
Yeah, and again, this is time of recording, February of 2025. These stats will probably change in 30 days. They will definitely change in 60 or 90 if you are watching it at a later time. So reach out to us for the latest market stats if you are looking at this later than February of 2025.
For sure.
Last but definitely not least is another community you have probably heard us talk about, and that is going to be the Banning Lewis Ranch community. This neighborhood may not get the same attention as some of the other bigger areas, but it has so much to offer, and we wanted to explain a little bit more about what those offerings are. As you know, we lived in this community prior to where we're at now, so we may be a little bit biased, but I still think that this is one of the underrated places in Colorado Springs.
I think we're a lot biased, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And we also do a lot of business in there. We have a listing coming up here soon that's going to be available as well. Smaller carriage home, 2-bed, 2-bath. I think one of the things that I love a lot of things about Banning, honestly, but I love that you can get houses for like this one's going to probably be listed right in that 400,000 range. But then you can also get $900,000 homes that are absolutely stunning.
Right.
And there's not, necessarily like, it's not a custom build neighborhood. It's not semi-custom. It's going to be very, I think, classic Oakwood. It's going to be very big or very broad name.
Come on. Broad name builders.
Name builders. Can't talk today. If you came here to get lied to and fibbed and over exaggeration on stuff, that's not really us. We're going to kind of tell you how it is if you couldn't notice. But they are very cookie cutter. Their lots are a little bit smaller.
For sure.
You're on top of each other.
Well, another thing that I do like about it is even though they have the broad spectrum price points from 400 to 900,000, we've even seen some go over $1 million at some points in time, is that they are kind of segmented together. So you have your $400,000 homes with your $400,000 homes. You're not going to have a $400,000 home in a $900,000 neighborhood or segment of that neighborhood. So they do a really good job with that. And another great addition to this community is the 55 and up community, which if you've seen some of our videos, you've probably heard us talk about. The 55 and up community is amazing. It is ranch style floor plans, but it is only for those who are 55 and up. So if that's something that you're looking for, they have different offerings than the actual whole of Banning Lewis Ranch has. You have like private events and private community get-togethers.
Yeah, you're still within like the Banning Lewis Ranch community, so you have access to everything. You're just a little bit more special and you get extra, and you have your own community center, you have your own gym, you have your own golf simulator. Look, I remembered this time.
Golf simulator.
They maintain your sidewalks and stuff like that. I think the biggest thing that I absolutely love about Banning Lewis, and I loved it when we were there, I still love it. We still go there and partake in some of the stuff, but it's the community.
For sure.
You can walk your dog, you can ride your bike, you can ride with the family.
When our son was going to Banning Lewis, the school, the academy, we would go to pick him up from soccer practice, and they would have food trucks, and they would have, in the summertime, they would have the concerts in the park. So even though we would just be going there to pick him up, it's like, oh, cool, let's just go stop by and get him, what are those things that he likes, the candies, freeze-dried?
The freeze-dried candy.
Freeze-dried candy. Not my thing, but he loved it. So we would pick him up from soccer practice and get to go visit with all the food trucks, and we would see some of our vendor friends that are selling Scentsy or candles or who knows what. So it just really gets you out of the house, but you're still in the community. You're 5, max 10 minutes from your house when you go to different events like that in the community.
Well, and everybody, for the most part, you're always going to have negative Nancy's, right? But for the most part, like you'll be walking, you'll be driving, and people are waving and hello, how are you? And have a good day. And, even there's swimming pools, which the outdoor one is perfect. I think that there's actually 2. There's the kind of more like kid-friendly one that has like the slide and that kind of stuff, and then more of like a lap type pool. But they rent the community center out so you can host events. It's just, and they do a bunch of events too, like monthly where you're allowed to do that. They have a small little gym from the last time that we've been in it. I do believe that they've upgraded it a tiny bit from what I've heard, but it's just the community is like no other, and it's all different types of walks of life. You have your military, you have your retired, you have your, first time home buyers, you have your retirees. It's just an amazing community.
Yeah, and especially if you have kiddos, it's a great way to get out and meet your neighbors. They might live 5 minutes away, but they're still your neighbor. You go, you pick your kids up from school. If he or she makes friends with someone at the school, you know that most likely they live in that neighborhood and that you can easily have sleepovers or get them together during the summertime to have summertime events or whatever that looks like. And that was another huge aspect when our kiddos were a little bit more little that we really enjoyed, is that we could just take them to their friend's house that was only 5 minutes away.
And it's super central. I mean, we're in Peyton, so we're a little bit further. We're probably about 18 more minutes to Banning. But to get on to Powers, it's like an 8-minute drive, I would say. Or Woodman. Well, it's super close to Woodman. And then to get to Powers or Dublin's right there. And they are growing the roads because right now, I don't think that they were quite prepared for as much growth as they had very, very quickly, but they are expanding the road. They are adding lanes. And so that will get a lot easier. Right now, it's just kind of a complete cluster, but you are central to a lot of things, which I love.
Yeah, Banning is, when we talk about Stetson Hills and the Powers corridor, depending on where you're at in Banning, you're maybe 10 to 12 minutes away from all the shopping and same amenities. So it's a little bit further east than Stetson Hills is, but it's still a pretty easy, pretty close drive.
For sure. Kind of went through a little bit of it that the house values there kind of range all over because you can really get something for $400,000 as a first-time home buyer, or you can get something that, we've actually had several friends that have bought that are like 1.1 million in Banning Lewis, but
forever.
For 80927, we're going to look at around 525 as your average price point. They do have several listings that are active. In that community, I will say it's about 75 houses right now on the market, but it has a ton of houses at all times. So if it's a community that you're wanting to get into, we can almost guarantee you that we can find you a home with exactly what you're wanting, whether it's a first-time home buyer or you want to retire there and just kind of have that luxury feel. We got you.
Yeah, and that community is also still doing new builds. If you've seen our videos, you've probably seen the video on new builds in Banning Lewis Ranch. That goes for the 55 and up community and Banning Lewis as a whole. They're still building houses there, so we got you if you want to move there. So those are our top 5 underrated places to live in Colorado Springs, each one offering something unique, something special, whether it's affordability or nature or a strong sense of community.
If you have any of those neighborhoods caught your eye, or if you're looking to find the perfect spot here in Colorado Springs, do not hesitate to reach out. We're your local experts, and we would love to help you find the right home for you.
I've said it once before, I'll say it again. If you've seen any of our videos, you know that we hyper-local search different things in Colorado Springs. So if you're looking to stay up to date on Colorado Springs, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you watch this next video because we are going to cover something new, something unique about Colorado Springs. We can guarantee it.
So stick around, watch the next video, and as you know, we are your local real estate agents here to help you.